This is the Yamaha DJX-II keyboard, complete with a sampler, a great bunch of general MIDI sounds, and a whole lot of other features that I'm going to show you. Here's some bass sounds. And of course you can add a whole range of effects to those using this section. Button cycles through each effect. Then you've got a balance control and a dry wet control, which is basically intensity. Ring modulation. Flanger. Phaser. Slicer. This is synced to your BPM. Bar. So it's a nice design where you can switch your effect on and off and still have two fingers free to manipulate the controls. Okay, so let's have a look at the sampling section of the DJX-II. I've got my green guitar cable here, plugging my acoustic guitar into the sampling in socket at the back. There's also an RCA type socket that goes in. That might be more suitable for turntables or other synthesizers, things like that. And I've already got samples recorded in banks 1 through to 6 here, but I want to clear one to make way for this new sample. So clear flashes there when I hold down sampling and the button together. About 4 seconds, and we now have an empty bank in number 6 ready to be sampled. To check my level, I just press sampling, hold it down, play a few notes, and you'll see the sound strength is measured in a series of H's that appear across the LED panel there. So we're just checking that and making sure it doesn't go too high so that it becomes a big distorted sound. On some occasions you might want a big distortion sound, but anyway, for the sake of this demo, I'm just going to keep it simple. Hold down number 6 and release that one so that we're going to record into bank number 6. And as soon as I release this sample button, it's going to start recording. Not bad. You'll find that we can also switch to sound number 203, which is our sampled sound. The keys are different colors, and that means different samples are assigned to the different color sections, and this is really handy if you want to be chromatic with your samples but have a clear visual idea about where one ends and one begins. So this is the chord I just played, and this is a bass note I played earlier. Nice and easy. Pattern selection. This is where it does get interesting. You can hold down your pattern button and choose from, what have we got, 70 patterns. So let's start off with number 1. It's quite easy to get the timing right with these keys. Just count it in and you can mix parts in and out using the next set of grey keys. This toggle key right here is good because it'll switch on whatever is switched off and switch off whatever is on, which gives you good little alternations in your music. So let's try muting out a couple of those bits there. We'll just leave kick and snare. And this time we're going to move up the keyboard a little bit. I'll try to reposition you without bumping things around too much. And right up in the top here we can choose activators, which is the last set of grey keys right up here, just out of shot once again. And depending what you can choose, there's all kinds of different sound effects and loops that you can put in there. And of course, all the other controls that we've just seen are still in play. Let's try some different ones here, so just little loops and things like that that can just be added in. There you go, a little drum fill there. Just a little bit more excitement in your whole set as you're playing it. Also, we've got the ribbon controller here, which is quite handy. You can set that up just to be one of two scratches. Nice for little fills again. It has a really good feature as a pitch bender, so let's just go to the voices again and I'll choose a nice long lead sort of sound. Try it with a bass sound. So that's really good fun. It's worth noting too that the effector also works with that, so let's try a little bit of delay on it. And the wah. Yeah, that's a really good feature. Here's another good feature, the key shifter. That's the lowest row of dark grey keys, and that will allow you to change the pitch of any pattern that you're playing. So let's start one up. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about resonance and cutoff, always an old favourite with this kind of music. We'll start off a pattern, then you select a part of your music that you want to adjust. In this case, I've got phrase 2. Let's try it on bass. And we can use the filters to affect only those parts of the music. And just to finish up, I'm going to show you the list of patterns here. We've got 70 to choose from. There's your 6 sampler pads, resonance, cutoff, and patch volume there. This is the sampling volume level for your sound input. There's that ribbon controller we were talking about a moment ago, effect section, main selector there. These buttons are for recording your songs. You can have 6 performances in there, and that'll record your melody as well as any changes that you make to your patches. Here we have an isolator, which is basically a fancy name for an equalizer. Is actually really effective. There's your list of activators at the top there, which is your sound effect set and voice set, and the master volume and on off switch. Just for a bit of a look around the back, we'll see we've got all the ports that most users need. MIDI in, out. There is a microphone in socket, or a 6mm TRS jack, and an RCA jack in for your sampler. Left and right out. And on the other side, headphone socket and power. It'll also run on D batteries. So there it is, my tour of the Yamaha DJX-II. It's an unbelievably fun keyboard. It has some really high-end capabilities, but really it's geared for the user who just wants to jam, wants to have a great time playing the synthesizer. Don't get fooled into thinking it's something similar to the DJX original version, the DJX-1. I really think they should be thought of as totally different instruments. Having said that, they're both excellent, and if you want to have a whole lot of fun jamming on the synth, then the DJX-2 would be very high up on your list. Thanks for watching Gearfacts, guys, and if you can hit that like button or subscribe, I would be ever so grateful.